Hello there, welcome to Maxine's on Shine.
Maxine Earhart is definitely in charge. She is the face and energy that drives Maxine's on Shine, the funky Orlando restaurant she owns with her husband Kurt. She is a 24/7 force of nature, a stylish former beauty queen, working the dining room as deftly as she did the runway back in the day, modeling for Coco Chanel and others.
All my life, I have had an extra amount of energy. No one seems to understand where it comes from. My mom could never understand it either. And even my husband and my son once thought, maybe I should get tested for ADD. But you know what? I did some reading on it, and I discovered it's my superpower. And I've learned to live with it. And I became an entrepreneur probably because of it.
As Miss New York in 1979, Maxine embraced all the glitter and glamour. She met celebrities like Bob Hope, Robin Williams, and Sly Stallone. But along the way, she learned life lessons that are applicable to the day-to-day grind of running a restaurant. You show up every day with a smile on your face, feet forward, making friends along the way.
I look at the beauty queen industry the way it was originally meant to be, the way my mother saw it, which was networking. It was an opportunity for women at a certain age and a certain time to get in front of the right people. I think restaurants are still a place where people come and meet and network, or come and gather.
Maxine took a winding road in her journey to restaurateur, reinventing herself a few times along the way. She moved to Orlando in 1990 to be with her sister. She worked in the production industry at the theme parks, then ended up as a personal assistant to a woman who owned a design firm. She even sold cinnamon glazed almonds on Church Street.
So it was a whole decade of kind of just chilling out, and then I found like my happiness, my happy place. Like I really liked design. And then I ended up starting my own company where I was making pillows and draperies for model homes. Very happy. Then I met Kurt.
And then another twist in the story, love. She met Kurt at a local bar in 2001. Reflective of their wild, quirky ride, she said she didn't think much of the wine list, the one Kurt had put together. That eventually led them into another relationship, a business one. 11 years later, they signed the papers to establish Maxine's on Shine.
And it was my husband's dream to own a restaurant. I was his second wife, and he had already told me the first wife did not help him fulfill his dreams. So I felt it was kind of like my obligation to be like, okay. And then he wanted to name the restaurant after me, and I was very flattered. And then he made me the logo, and then that made me be in the restaurant business. And he kept saying, oh honey, you're a natural. This is gonna be great.
It hasn't always been great. Far from it. They have been through it all. Financial struggles, a recession, the COVID crisis, and the daily balancing act of intermingling their personal and professional lives. At times, it seemed that the restaurant was going to fail. At times, it seemed that the marriage was going to fail. Sometimes, both.
My parents were married 72 years, and I used to say to them, about after their 50th anniversary, I'd be like, my God, how do you stay together that long? And my mom would be like, well, you have a few good years and you have a few bad years. And I'd be like, well, what do you do during the bad years? She goes, you remember the good years. And so that's where we're at.
They've managed to make it work through all of it. Part of the reason is that Kurt empowers Maxine to be Maxine, energetic, eclectic, engaging, and creative.
When you think of restaurants, you don't think of what my job is, which is to make it look good when people walk in the door. I like things to look beautiful. I like people to see beauty when they're looking around. I very specifically am a pain in the ass around here about that. Anybody that works here will tell you, oh God, fix those drapes. Maxine's coming. Hello, how are you doing tonight? Hi, I'm Maxine. I just wanted to stop over and say hello.
She is front and center, making sure every customer feels special. She is apt to document their presence with a photo op. She has over 100,000 images on her iCloud, along with more than 4,000 videos. Through all her life experiences, Maxine has learned one thing that has proved most valuable in running a successful restaurant. It's not just taking pictures, it's connecting with people.
Hello, how are you? Oh my gosh, how old's the baby?
Almost 6 months.
Sometimes people are coming to celebrate a birthday, a new job. Other times though, people have had a bad day. They maybe lost their job or they got in a little fender bender. It's our job though to make sure before they walk out the door to be happy. That's why they come to Maxine's.
She is easy to pick out at the restaurant. Red framed glasses, hats, big jewelry, big belt, bright colors. Very Paris or New York chic. It's not a work costume. It's her style. It's who she is.
I think what I did is I took my background in fashion and I loved it. And it helped me to embrace who I am, and I learned about my body and what was good. So, for instance, I have great legs, so I often wore miniskirts all the time. And I love bold jewelry because I think it's fun, because I like artists. You just have to just be fearless, you know, and not worry about what other people think.
In many ways, she is still a beauty queen. She wears that tiara symbolically, a tribute to her resourcefulness. She is still standing. She is royalty among her loyal customers. Beauty queen, seamstress, restaurant owner. Maxine Earhart has played all those roles and others in what's been a wonderful life.
You know, it is kind of funny. You take your strengths, I think, and your passions with you all through life. And I've always been a creative individual. And apparently my mother said I was always very bossy. So look, I get to be a boss now. Who knew that was going to happen? And when I was 61 years old.